What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing you guys a brand new video. We're going to be doing a mid-taper on my boy, so stay tuned. When doing the taper, I always start off at the back side so I can warm myself up. It's kind of like stretching before you work out. If you end up doing the side taper first, you could take one of them higher than the other. We are balding him out with our anti outliners. We are not going to use the shaver because he does bump up. Now that we're done balding him out and creating our first guideline, we can move on to the Annis Masters Midway Open and create our second guideline. Having the lever midway on Annis Masters is equivalent to a no guard all the way open on the walls and ergos. If you were to open the lever all the way to its last notch, it would be equivalent to a one guard all the way closed. We're then going to slightly close the lever all the way closed and then blend out that initial guideline. Now that we're done blending out our initial guideline, we can move on to the one guard midway open and create our third guideline. Remember, we're going to use the lever to soften up the line and get it ready for the zero guard. Now that we're done softening up the line with the one guard, we can move on to the zero guard and erase the line completely. Don't forget to use your opposite hands to stretch the skin just so you can have more space to blend. Here I'm using the lever all the way open on this last notch, which is equivalent to a one guard just to detail. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe is greatly appreciated. Thank you. Now we're using our two guard all the way open to create our fourth guideline. Remember to use the comb to feed the hair into the clipper when needed. We're softening up the line with the two guard and the lever just so we can move on to our one guard all the way open. Now that we're done softening up the line with the two guard, we can move on to the one guard all the way open and erase the line completely. Before we move on to our clipper over comb method, we're going to soften up the line with the three guard. Now that we're done softening up the line, we can move on to our clipper over comb method and make the fade as smooth as possible. When the cutting blade is horizontal, I'm debulking, and when the cutting blade is going vertical, I'm blending. You always want to make sure the taper is nice and smooth on the edge so when you line it up, it doesn't make it difficult for you. Now that we're done with the back taper, we can move on to the side taper and create our first guideline. Now that we're done botting him out and we already have our NST outliners out, we're going to move on to his neckline and start off at the bottom, working our way to the top arch. Remember to go slow and make sure the hair feeds into the trimmer. This part you always want to comb down and re-edge just to make sure it's very sharp. Moving back over to the side taper, we're moving on to our no guard all the way open and creating our second guideline. We're then going to use the lever to remove the initial guideline. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to the one guard all the way open and create our third guideline. Before we move on to our zero guard, we're going to debug with our two guard all the way open first, then move on to the zero guard. Now we're switching back over to the zero guard and we're removing the line between the one guard and the two guard. Now we're using our clipper of a comb to help us debug and blend into the side. Now that we're done blending in the side taper to the top, we can move on to our NST outliners and line up his C cup. I always start off at the bottom arch and then work my way to the top. As you can see, I'm going slow enough that the hair feeds into the trimmer and makes a very harsh line. You also don't want to push anybody's vertical bars back because it would stand out. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you. Also, if you leave a comment down below, I'm 100% gonna reply to it, so make sure you do. Here I'm using the foil shaver to remove the stubble on the sideburns. He does not like the shaver on the back of the neck because it does bump up. Now we're moving on to our Turkish Razor and Derby Premium blades, and we're going to make them as crispy as possible. Remember to always apply shave gel to lather the skin, and then also stretch the skin as much as possible while keeping the blade at a 45-degree angle.